Welcome to Personal Training Tip of the Week. My name is Chris Williams. We're at MPTI of Florida. Today we'll be looking at the knees during a squat. The squat is a great exercise. It's a multi-joint exercise, involves loads of muscle groups, and it expends calories, which is a wonderful thing. Historically, it's one of the best exercises because we've been doing it for so very, very long. However, if there's any deviation of the knee, it could predispose you, especially your anterior cruciate ligament and your medial collateral ligament, to undue stress, or excessive amounts can lead to a rupture. So first of all, we're going to perform a very basic test. Okay, my client here, Nelson, is going to remove his shoes so we can actually see the actual function of the knee as it generates itself from the subtalar joint, the ankle joint, the knee joint, and the hip joint. So I'm going to ask my client to stand on the floor with both hands overhead with the arms facing forward. And we're going to perform about 5 squats. So when you're ready, at a kind of 202 tempo, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. And back up as low as you can. Now, within the context of the general population, and I'm going to manipulate Nelson here just a bit if I can. Permission to touch?
Yes.
Okay. So in this scenario here, what you will normally see with a lot of people is the knees will cave in. So bring your knees in and then go back up again and come back down, and you'll see the knees cave in. So this is the type of what we call valgus force at the knee that we need to be very, very aware of, because it's a shear force, it's a rotational force, due to the fact that you have several things happening here. The femur or the thigh bone is adducting and internally rotating, while the tibia, the shin bone, is actually abducting, going in the opposite direction. So the medial aspect of the knee, along with the rotational forces of the knee, places the ACL and medial collateral ligament under unnecessary strain. So we can hopefully help Nelson in going forward. Stop there 1 second. Because now what we can do is identify the muscles that are overactive and the muscles that are underactive. We can categorically say from what we saw that the overactive muscles are the adductor complex on the inside of the leg, and the abductor complex out here, or abductor muscles, are the underactive muscles. So what we're going to use is a foam roller. The process itself is what we call self-myofascial release. So I'm going to get Nelson with his head this way, lying face down, okay? In a kind of plank position. I'm going to take this leg if I can, permission to touch again, and I'm going to bring it out to the side. So bring your leg out to the side for me. There you go. I'm going to put this at an angle, and what he's going to do is stick this foot in the ground for me, lift your hip, and roll yourself across until you find, just relax that leg for me, put this foot on the ground, there you go. So you relax until you find that tender spot, or we call it a knot or adhesion, okay? Because these muscles are overactive, so we know it's there. So he's found that spot. We're going to hold that there for about a period of 30 seconds. Then we're going to move up and over. So to expedite the process, let's move up and over on the next leg if we can, Nelson. Thank you. Here we go. And again, we're going to put it here at an angle, like so. Just make this foot nice and rigid. Stick your toes in the ground. That's right. There we go. Roll across for me. Lift your hip if you can. There you go. Let your leg hang. Good job. And once again, we're going to identify that knot or adhesion. Okay. Within the muscle or the muscle belly. It's there. We're going to hold it a bit like a trigger point system for about 30 seconds. Like I said, we're going to expedite the system. So jump up for me 1 second. After we do that, we're then going to do an adductor stretch like this. And there are several adductor stretches that you can do. Okay, so let's do a nice adductor stretch. And again, we're going to hold that for about 30 seconds. That's now going to lengthen the muscle that was once quite shortened and overactive. And we'll speed it up. Go to the next leg for me. That's 30 seconds. And then what we're going to now do is we are going to conversely strengthen the muscles that are underactive, which is the gluteus medius primarily on this side. And there's 2 ways we're going to do it from an exercise standpoint. The first one is we are going to do it in isolation. So can I ask you to come here for me? Put this on your left leg and face the camera. Perfect. Okay. Good, good, good. And when you're ready, I want you to abduct that leg. You can support yourself from me if you need to. Nice and steady. If you want to just turn your foot in just slightly as you do it. Perfect. Good man. And we're going to do that for X number of repetitions at a controlled tempo, as you can clearly see. And once we've done on the left leg, then indeed, we're also going to do it on the right. So here we go. Let's change up and over to the other leg. Must always address both sides. So every time you foam roll or SMR, you primarily will do it on the overactive muscles, but to be able to do it on the overactive muscles, you're going to have a format or a system to actually recognize which muscles are overactive in the first place. Okay, an overhead squat is a good choice of an assessment tool. Okay, let's pretend that we've done our 12 to 15 reps. So we've done this in isolation of the gluteus medius, and the next exercise we're going to do is a version of what they call a monster walk, which is where you're going to be like this, like so, and you're going to stride and step, stride and step. Yep, here we go. So nice big stride, pull it up higher, so you lift the body up, well done. Stride to the side and step two. Just slight bend in the knees, and slide to the side, to the side, to the side, and then go back the opposite direction. Bend the knees slightly, sit into it a little bit more, sit into it a little bit more, there you go. Big stride to the side. Excellent, well done, thank you. So, in essence, if you are doing a squat on yourself or a client, one of the key features is always look for the vertical alignment of the ankles, knees, and the hips. If there's any deviation at the knee, they could be predisposed to an injury of the anterior cruciate ligament and the medial collateral ligament.
All right, thanks for visiting MPTI Florida. I'm Pat Sherman. Just wanted to let you guys know to please follow us, like us, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're going to try to do a really good job this year and give you as much information as possible on the fitness industry, health and wellness. Give us a call, text 407-772-0057. That's Pat Sherman, 407-772-0057.